a time of great change. Introducing the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a time of incredible upheaval in France. It lasted from 1789 to 1799 and changed the country forever. The revolution was about much more than just France. Its ideas and events had a ripple effect influencing the entire world. This period saw the rise of new ways of thinking about government and society, inspiring people across the globe to fight for liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolution was a complex and often violent process. It involved different groups with different goals, sometimes clashing with each other. Understanding the French Revolution is crucial to understanding modern history. Its legacy continues to shape our world today, reminding us of the power of ideas and the constant struggle for a more just and equitable society. The old order crumbles. Life in France before the revolution. To understand the French Revolution, we must first understand the world that existed before it. France, like much of Europe at the time, operated under a system known as the old regime. At the top was the king, who held absolute power and ruled by divine right. Beneath him were three social classes known as estates. King Louis XVI as King Louis XVI. The first estate consisted of the clergy, the second estate was the nobility, and the third estate encompassed everyone else, from wealthy merchants to poor peasants. Marie Antoinette, as Marie Antoinette, the first and second estates enjoyed significant privileges, including exemption from most taxes. The burden of taxation fell heavily on the third estate, who had very little political power and faced economic hardship. This inequality and lack of representation fueled resentment and discontent, setting the stage for revolution. The spark ignites the events that ignited a nation. By the late 1780s, France was in a state of deep economic crisis. Years of extravagant spending by the monarchy, coupled with costly wars and a series of poor harvests, had driven the country to the brink of bankruptcy. King Louis XVI, as King Louis XVI. Desperate for solutions, I agreed to convene the Estates General, an assembly representing all three estates for the first time in over 170 years. The meeting of the Estates General in May 1789 did not go as the king had hoped. The third estate, representing the vast majority of the population, demanded greater representation and an end to their economic burdens. When their demands were ignored, they took a radical step, declaring themselves the National Assembly and vowing to create a new constitution for France. This act of defiance marked the beginning of the French Revolution. A new France emerges. The National Assembly takes charge. The formation of the National Assembly marked a turning point in the revolution. Ordinary citizens, emboldened by the Assembly's actions, took to the streets in support. Peasant woman as peasant woman. On July 14, 1789, a Parisian mob stormed the Bastille, a royal prison, in search of weapons and gunpowder. This event, now celebrated as Bastille Day, symbolized the people's rejection of royal authority. The National Assembly, now firmly in control, embarked on a series of radical reforms. They abolished feudalism, stripping the nobility and clergy of their special privileges. They adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a groundbreaking document proclaiming the equality of all men and guaranteeing basic freedoms. The monarchy was not abolished outright, but the king's power was significantly reduced, with sovereignty now residing in the people. Section 5. Terror grips the nation. The radical phase and the reign of terror. As the revolution progressed, it grew increasingly radical. France faced threats from both within and outside its borders. Foreign monarchies, fearful of the revolution spreading to their own countries, declared war. Internally, counter-revolutionaries plotted to restore the king's power. In this climate of fear and uncertainty, the revolution took a dark turn.
In 1793, we, the radical Jacobins, seized control of the government. We established the Committee of Public Safety, ruthlessly pursuing any perceived enemies of the revolution. This period, known as the Reign of Terror, saw thousands executed, often on flimsy evidence.
The terror eventually consumed itself, with Robespierre himself falling victim to the guillotine in 1794. Section 6, Order and Ambition, the Directory and the Rise of Napoleon. Following the Reign of Terror, France entered a period of relative calm and stability under the Directory, a new government established in 1795. However, the Directory proved to be weak and ineffective, plagued by corruption and unable to solve the country's economic problems.
It was in this context that I, a brilliant young general who had risen through the ranks of the army, seized my opportunity. In 1799, I staged a coup d'etat, overthrowing the Directory and establishing myself as First Consul of France.
Napoleon's rise to power marked the end of the French Revolution, ushering in a new era of French history dominated by his ambition and military genius. Section 7. A changed France social and political transformations. The French Revolution, despite its violence and turmoil, brought about profound and lasting changes to France. Socially, it shattered the rigid hierarchy of the old regime. Feudalism was abolished, and the privileges of the nobility and clergy were revoked. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen established the principles of equality before the law and popular sovereignty, ideas that would continue to resonate for centuries to come. Politically, the revolution marked the end of absolute monarchy in France. The power of the king was broken, replaced by a series of republics and eventually Napoleon's empire. While France would experiment with different forms of government in the years that followed, it would never again be ruled by an absolute monarch. The revolution had sown the seeds of democracy, even if it would take many more years for a stable republic to take root. Section 8, A World Transformed, the global impact of revolution. The impact of the French Revolution extended far beyond the borders of France. The revolution's ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated with people across Europe and the world, inspiring movements for political and social change. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen became a cornerstone of human rights declarations, influencing struggles for freedom and self-determination for generations. The revolution also had a profound impact on global politics. The Napoleonic Wars, sparked by the revolution and Napoleon's ambition, swept across Europe, redrawing national boundaries and transforming the balance of power. The Congress of Vienna, which convened after Napoleon's defeat in 1815, sought to restore order to Europe, but it could not erase the legacy of the French Revolution. The ideas of popular sovereignty, nationalism, and liberalism had taken root, and they would continue to shape the course of history. Section 9, Echoes of Revolution, the French Revolution's enduring legacy. The French Revolution, though it ended in 1799, continues to resonate today. It stands as a testament to the power of ideas to transform societies and reshape the world. The revolution's ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity remain powerful forces for change, inspiring movements for social justice and political reform across the globe. The French Revolution also serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked power, the fragility of democracy, and the human cost of revolution. The Terror, in particular, stands as a stark reminder of how easily revolutionary ideals can be twisted to justify violence and oppression. Section 10, Conclusion, A Revolution for the Ages. The French Revolution was a pivotal event in human history. It marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, ushering in an age of revolutions that would transform the world. The revolution's legacy is complex and multifaceted, a mixture of triumph and tragedy, of progress and regression. It reminds us that the pursuit of liberty, equality, and fraternity is an ongoing struggle, one that requires constant vigilance and a willingness to challenge injustice wherever it may be found. The French Revolution may be over, but its echoes continue to reverberate through time, reminding us of the power of ideas to shape our world.